This isn't a story for the faint of heart. This is a story about how the accident that almost made me lose my life helped me discover an ancient secret about tinnitus, one that was thought to be forgotten until a recent breakthrough made by modern medicine. Right now, you're moments away from the discovery of your life. If you stick with me to the end of this video, you'll see how I managed to rid myself of this debilitating disease in less than 4 weeks. And in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how and why your doctor has been telling you that there's no known solution for tinnitus, and how he was always wrong about one small detail about this condition. You'll see how scientists from prestigious research centers such as Arizona University and Wayne State University School of Medicine made a groundbreaking discovery when it comes to tinnitus, and how, without using any expensive prescription medication and without the help of costly interventions, you can get rid of the hushing, buzzing and ringing that are happening inside your head right now. If you always wondered why exactly this disease has taken over you so suddenly and is so hard to get rid of, let me tell you this: everything starts inside your brain. Stick with me to the end of this video and you'll understand exactly how tinnitus isn't a disease in itself, but a symptom of something much, much worse that's affecting your brain as we speak and can even put your life in danger. According to top researchers at the Hearing Health Foundation and from the University of Arizona, this affliction has nothing to do with loud noises, ear damage, or any other lie they fed you. Once you realize the process happening inside you right now, you will also have the power to reverse it and bring yourself back to your happy, peaceful state again. Let me ask you this: do you know why some people never suffer from tinnitus, even though they have spent their entire lives subjected to loud noises, while others get it from nothing but pushing papers all day? The answer will come as a shock to you, but will also reveal a way for you to free yourself from the shackles of this condition once and for all. So get ready to stop feeling tired and stressed by the constant buzzing taking place in your ear. To never have to live in constant stress that all the hushing and roaring are going to ruin another peaceful day spent alongside your loved ones. To be free from all the frustration and insecurities that have been following you since the moment you first heard that annoyingly loud ringing. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 50, or even 100 years old, or if you've been suffering from tinnitus for more than half your life, or just for mere months. This incredible solution can help even the people who abandoned all hope in finding a cure for this condition. You'll be given the chance to join the 120,000 people who have successfully rid themselves of this debilitating disease. People like Linda Kay, 49, from New Jersey, who wrote to us saying, "I can't tell you how happy I am that I finally got that debilitating noise out of my head. My days were a living hell. I was always stressed, anxious, and I couldn't sleep. Last week I slept less than 10 hours in 7 days. But after I found out about your ritual, everything changed for me. No more noise, no more stress, and now I'm sleeping like a baby. You don't even know it, but you saved my life. Thank you." Or James R., 65, from South Dakota, who told us, "My tinnitus was stopping me from doing even the simplest of things. For me, going out for a walk with my grandchildren was as dangerous as it was dreadful. Many times I couldn't even hear them, and at one point they almost got ran over by a car. I had tried everything, and to no avail. I was ready to give up. But then a friend of mine told me about this amazing discovery of yours. So I said, why not? Needless to say, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. No more roaring or high-pitched noises in my ear. Goodbye, tinnitus. Welcome, happiness." And Richard G., 55, from Texas, who told us this: "When you're my age, there are very few things left that can surprise you, and very many that hurt you. Tinnitus was the one thing that took away my ability to enjoy life. I've been dealing with it for 10 years, and not once did I think that I could get rid of it, not even after trying the doctor-recommended solutions. I was a grumpy old man who didn't even want to spend time with his grandchildren. Everything became so dreadful, and I even considered ending this life. Fast forward to me discovering your formula. Of course I was skeptical, but I didn't even have a better choice. Hands down the best decision I ever made. In less than a few weeks, my condition was gone as if it never happened, and now I can spend quality time with my family again. These are only a few of the hundreds of messages I receive on a daily basis in my inbox from satisfied users. It fills me with joy that my groundbreaking discovery is changing the lives of so many people worldwide. But enough of that. Let's cut to the chase. My name is Johnny Wilkers, and I'm a 50-year-old doctor from Chicago. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Clara, and the father of the most beautiful pair of twin little girls, Janet and Jessica. Now, for most of my life, I've prided myself on being a good person because that's what my parents taught me ever since I was little. Always think about the others and try to make their lives better. That's the motto that guided me towards choosing this job. Through being a doctor, I knew I could help as many people as I could overcome their conditions and regain a happy life. From simple headaches to flu, from gut problems to joint pain, I managed to help almost everyone who came to me looking for a solution, and the ones that I couldn't, I redirected to others who could. But there was one thing I couldn't help people with, no matter how much I tried, and no matter how many experts I consulted with, and that was tinnitus. Over the years, there were plenty of people who came to me looking for a way out of the hell that was this condition. Doctor, please help me. I can't sleep properly anymore. I keep hearing these loud noises, please make them stop. Or, it got so bad, I'm actually thinking of ending it all. Please do something. Looking in their eyes, I saw something I didn't see in many of my patients. They looked like their lives were a living hell. And I always hoped and prayed that I would never get to experience that condition myself. But no matter how much I hoped for it, tinnitus still came after me. And that's how my nightmare began, a little over a couple years ago. First, it started like a faded hum in my ear, coming and going at times. It was barely perceptible, but it still distracted me from time to time. Then everything became worse, with the humming turning into a loud, ringing noise, followed by a roaring, whooshing sound. And if that wasn't enough, this condition started affecting my sleep schedule, to the point where I could only get 3 hours of sleep per night. As you can tell, my life started going downhill from there. Some mornings it would get so bad I couldn't stand for more than 10 minutes without the entire room spinning around me. This loud, pulsing, swooshing sound was plaguing me day and night. I was exhausted and frustrated and was losing hope by the day. I gave up on being a father, a husband. I gave up on all my friends. I even began to think it was all imaginary. I thought I was insane. But as time moved on, things got worse. I couldn't focus at all on the simplest things. I couldn't pay attention to my kids talking to me. I couldn't work. I could barely sleep. I had nightmares and severe panic attacks. I was a wreck, and I knew that I needed expert help, so I started looking for treatments. First, I went for sound therapy. As you can already tell, that didn't do much for me. It mildened the noise for the first 2 weeks, but then it started having no effects, so I just dropped it. Then I paid a few $1,000s for a hearing aid that not only didn't help me, but was annoying as hell, and ended up at the bottom of the drawer. I tried behavioral therapies, herbal remedies, acupuncture, Ayurvedic medicine. Some gave me a temporary sense of calm, but had zero effects on the long run. I was exhausted and in a lot of pain that nothing I've done could help me. I was unable to enjoy any moments with my family because of this terrible noise, because of this constant nerve-wracking sound in my head. My entire life was controlled by this debilitating noise that took over my brain, and nobody had no clue how to stop it. And to top it all off, some people even started thinking that I was insane, that I was making it all up. I never wish for anyone to go through what I did. But if you think that's everything there is to know about my experience with tinnitus, you're in for a shock, because the following events are not for the faint of heart. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you how this condition almost took my life away from me. It was a beautiful Saturday morning, and Carla and I decided to take the kids out for a walk in the park. Of course, I was reluctant to come out since my tinnitus struck hard early in the morning, but I thought it would do me some good to take a breath of fresh air. My wife spent some time running around with the kids while I stood on a bench and looked after them. However, at one point, Jennifer said she wanted some ice cream from the store across the street, so I said I'd go, since I had nothing better to do. That was when it happened. The humming and the buzzing got a hold of me, and I started feeling dizzier than usual. All of a sudden, while crossing the street, I hear the faintest of noises. And when I looked to my left, it was a split second too late. A driver had been honking at me for a couple of seconds, and even though he tried stopping the car, it had already been too late. The car smashed into me, and I was sent a few meters away, losing my consciousness. I remember two things before blacking out. The first one were the horrid screams of my family as they saw me hitting the ground, and Carla running to me and yelling at strangers to call an ambulance. The second, the ringing in my ears being louder than ever, as if telling me that this is not the moment when you get rid of me. I'll be there in your darkest hours to take over your sanity. And I asked myself, wouldn't it all have been better if I died right then and there? After a little while, I woke up on a hospital bed surrounded by my family and doctors. They were all crying, and when I asked them if there's anything wrong, one of the doctors said this: "Sir, it's a miracle you're still alive. Had you come to the hospital a couple of minutes too late, you'd be dead by now." I was speechless. It was indeed nothing short of a miracle, as the doctor said. But I could only think about the fact that this wouldn't have happened at all if my tinnitus hadn't acted up. I was gutted. On top of that, I also had to spend a few extra days in the hospital so they could monitor my health, so I couldn't do anything much about it. I knew the regulations and I had to respect them. Little did I know back then, but the days spent in there would be the most important days of my journey towards getting rid of tinnitus. At one point, a doctor came into my room. Let's call him Dr. J for his protection. He came to check up on me and saw that I wasn't in the best of moods. I then proceeded to tell him about everything I was going through with the tinnitus and how nothing I tried ever seemed to work. He nodded, and when I finished the story, he pulled out a piece of paper on which he scribbled his name and a phone number. "When you get out of the hospital, call me immediately. I think I can help you with your problem." Now, I must admit, I was a little skeptical at first. You would have been too, if a random person told you they had the solution to a condition you've been struggling with for the past couple of years. But it was my last resort. And so I waited for the days to pass, and the first day I stepped foot outside the hospital, I immediately called the doctor. He told me his address and said to come alone. When I got there, I realized that it was a very remote place in the outskirts of the town. He welcomed me with a big smile, sat me down and got right to it. "So, Johnny, I understand you're struggling with tinnitus. I know how it must feel because I was just like you until about a year ago. But the difference between you and I is that I managed to reverse this condition and eliminate the disturbing noises that took over my life for good." I was amazed. Could he be telling the truth? Was it all that simple? He then continued, "See, about a decade ago, I started going through the same things you did. Loud noises, constant roaring in my ear, sleepless nights, and everyone thought I was crazy, that I was quite literally hearing things that weren't there. They didn't believe me, but I knew I wasn't the only person going through this, so I tried looking for information that would help me. I spent endless nights hoping to discover something, just a little thing that could at least milden the dreadful moments I was going through. Somehow, Lady Luck smiled on me, and I was selected to be part of a team of scientists that were trying to develop a formula that would help soldiers have boosted senses. During our research, one of my colleagues and dear friends came to me saying the following words: "Doctor, I know you're struggling with tinnitus, but I just came across something that could rid you of it forever." He handed me a note with a single word: neuroinflammation. He then said he was late for a meeting and fled. That was the last time I saw him, because after that, A bunch of tough guys in suits came and emptied his desk. A short while after, they ended the experiment, but I knew I wasn't over with it yet. Now listen closely, because in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to relay to you some top-secret information about tinnitus that the government and Big Pharma don't want you to know. You see, there are 2 reasons why tinnitus is a disease that has no known cure for the masses. At first, it was thought that tinnitus is an ear-related condition, and it makes sense, right? After all, that's where you hear the sound from. But after taking part in this research, and after looking for some information online based on neuroinflammation, I put 2 and 2 together and realized that actually, neuroinflammation is the cause for tinnitus. You may be wondering, what is neuroinflammation and why haven't I heard of it yet? Well, according to a few studies conducted by the scientists at Harvard Medical School, neuroinflammation is a type of chronic inflammation that occurs in the nervous system, mainly in your brain. The reason why you may not have heard about this type of inflammation is because it was discovered and experimented with in million-dollar labs. So your run-of-the-mill doctor's office can't possibly have the necessary devices to detect it. That's the reason why my friend managed to find out about it only during the experiment, because of the high-end machinery we used there. But what's the connection between neuroinflammation and tinnitus, you may ask? That's where this study conducted by researchers from the University of Arizona comes in. According to their findings, the real cause of tinnitus isn't found somewhere in the ear, but in the brain. That's why the useless methods promoted by Big Pharma have had no effect on you whatsoever. Furthermore, the Hearing Health Foundation followed this lead and discovered another element called TNF-alpha, which is a cell found in the brain that malfunctions due to neuroinflammation and causes it to send signals to the nearest receptor, which is your auditory cortex. Or in plain English, your brain is an inflamed area and the nerves inside it are trying to alert you of this, causing you tinnitus. So we've been looking at it all wrong. Tinnitus isn't a disease in itself, but it's more like an alarm triggered by your brain to make you notice that something isn't right inside you. Now, brain inflammation can be caused by many different things, from the air we breathe to the processed foods we eat. But the level of inflammation varies from person to person. That's why some people deal with these terrible roaring sounds daily, while others can live their life freely, because some people's organisms have the resources to fight the inflammation by themselves. And that's exactly why no other treatments worked, because they haven't been addressing the root cause of the problem, but they've been trying to treat the effects of it, which is a completely wrong approach. So what's there to be done, I asked. Dr. J then continued, well, since now we know the real cause of it, we can start looking for solutions. And lucky for you, that's what I've been doing for a long time. Since neuroinflammation is still a type of inflammation, I thought about it long and hard and finally developed a way to deal with it. I had to develop a formula that would both supply enough nutrients to the body in order for it to naturally fight the inflammation, as well as to target it itself and heal the brain. And I knew exactly where to start. You see, ever since I was little, I was passionate about nature and the incredible things it does for us. So I thought, could the cure be found in nature? And I'm glad I did, because after years of strenuous efforts, I developed a capsule that is strong enough to reduce inflammation and give one's body the things it needs to fight off neuroinflammation, heal the nerves, and completely rid and shield your body of tinnitus. But be careful, because this only works in the same exact amounts I calculated right here, and if you're wrong by even a milligram, it's all going to be for nothing. First, I knew I needed to add some Corydalis lutea. You see, according to a study conducted by the scientists at the University of California, and another one published by the American Association for the Advancement of Science, this plant has the power to alleviate inflammation and pain while being completely non-addictive. Now, if this were the case, it was my best shot at healing neuroinflammation. Plus, it had absolutely no side effects, and it works on all types of pain, including the headaches and anxiety caused by tinnitus, giving you both relief and healing the inflamed nerves. This ingredient works wonders on your body, mainly because it acts as a highly powerful anti-inflammatory agent, fighting the root cause of it, neuroinflammation, and creating a protective barrier on your brain and entire nervous system. Next, I had to add some passion flower. After looking into its effects, I knew that it was a must in the formula. Passion flower is best known for its positive effects when it comes to reducing inflammation of any kind and healing pain, especially when it comes to headaches and other side effects of neuroinflammation, so it comes as no surprise that I wanted it right away. Another ingredient on the list is marshmallow root powder. This herb is clinically proven to kill inflammation and help with neural pain, which was exactly what I needed. Prickly pear was also a herbal combatant, renowned for its antiviral and anti-inflammatory properties, so it's no wonder I put it here. Lastly, the final ingredient I could think of were California poppy seeds, which not only heal nerve pain, but also give you a boost of energy and fights physical tiredness, which is something you'll definitely be dealing with as a result of sleepless nights. The incredible thing about Dr. J's list of ingredients was that not only did they have the power to fight neuroinflammation and alleviate the symptoms of tinnitus, but they also protected one's entire body and gave them everything they needed to make sure that neuroinflammation is no longer something that can happen to them. Plus, he said that it was so potent that it could boost memory and cognitive capacities while protecting one's organism from things such as Dr. J told me everything I needed to know about it. All the research was there, and it seemed good enough to work. After all, he did it for himself, didn't he? Look, Johnny, the recipe I used on myself was different from this one, and it was more of a prototype. This is the pinnacle of continuous work, and as a doctor yourself, you should know how much this means to me. I needed to find someone I can trust, someone in the same field and who suffered from the same problem, that was willing to try this. That's why I chose you. Here's the plan. For the next month, I want you to take one of these capsules once a day with a glass of water, either in the morning or before lunch. I need you to document any changes that may occur as accurately as you can, so we can see that this truly works. I never hesitated for a second. I took the bottle from his hand and went straight home without telling anyone about his findings. Now, for the following days, I kept on taking them, but with very little effect. The sounds were still there, maybe not as strong as before, but I didn't see too much improvement. I was beginning to lose hope, but Dr. J told me to hang in there until the end of the test period. I trusted him, and I'm glad I did, because at the end of the first week, something changed. I finally managed to get a good night's sleep, and when I woke up, the noise wasn't there anymore. It was nothing short of a miracle, but I didn't want to stop there. I needed to see what would happen if I would take these capsules for the whole month. After a couple of weeks, there was no trace of sounds inside my head. On top of that, the occasional headaches I was dealing with were completely gone, and for the first time in I don't know how long, I could finally sleep peacefully without waking up in the middle of the night. Plus, I wasn't feeling anxious anymore. My body felt completely rejuvenated. I was more energetic than ever, and even my memory got better. It was as if my life had been given back to me and I was young again. I immediately called Dr. J and told him about the results. He said that as much as he was happy for me, he was eager to move to the next stage of testing, because it wasn't enough for it to work for only the two of us. It needed to work on everybody. So we posted some ads on some tinnitus-related forums and talked to some of my old patients, and gathered around 93 people of all ages and medical conditions who wanted to take part in this discreet experiment. Some of them have been affected by tinnitus for their whole lives, while others have merely dealt with it for a couple of months. So we were sure that we had people from all segments trying the product. We gave them some forms to fill out and told them to send them to us when they start seeing results. Considering our personal experience with the formula, we expected first results to come in only after a couple of weeks. But we were very surprised to see that the first reports came in as early as the end of the first week. And by the end of the trial period, things looked like this. When talking about tinnitus, all 93 of the test subjects said that they had no symptoms anymore, and the noise is completely gone. On top of that, 55 of them said that prior to the test, they were dealing with insomnia. But after trying Dr. J's recipe, they eliminated it from their lives completely. After being subjected to some more clinical tests, Dr. J noticed that all 93 of the patients showed improved memory and lower signs of inflammation throughout the body. And to top it all off, their immune system was in phenomenal condition. The test was a success, and after seeing that, we decided to go public with it. We could no longer hide something so powerful from the world, especially knowing that we held the cure to a condition that took away people's lives from them. And so we decided to start our project based on 3 non-negotiable principles. Number 1, the ingredients had to be of the highest possible quality, since a lot of those in the industry are low quality and won't have the same effect. Number 2, everything had to be done discreetly in an FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility that was large enough to produce enough product with the ingredients we provided. Number 3, that facility had to operate by the highest standards with a top-of-the-line sterilization procedure. We had to make sure that everything was in order before we got on with the production. With both of our connections, we managed to get a hold of the things we needed in the shortest time possible, and that marked the birth of tinnitox. Tinnitox is the only product guaranteed to rid you of the hellish noise inside your head by targeting the root cause of it, neuroinflammation inside the brain. This organic capsule is made from 100% natural, GMO-free ingredients, does not cause any type of addictions, and has no side effects. The only side effect you'll be experiencing is a clear head, a happy life, and far less anxiety than what you've been dealing with due to the ringing and hushing in your ears. Tinnitox is the only thing on the market that successfully deals with your tinnitus, giving you back your long-lost zest for life. That's because it acts quickly and efficiently, killing the inflammation in your brain and shielding your nervous system from other possible dangers. The way it acts is very simple and can be explained in 5 steps. Step 1. The powerful nutrient blend squashes your brain inflammation. Remember, the root cause of your tinnitus is due to a brain inflammation that's damaging your nerve cells and causes you to hear that hellish noise. The first thing you notice after the nutrients take into effect is the immediate lowering of your tinnitus's volume. And that's because tinnitox contains powerful nutrients that mix together, eliminate inflammation directly from your nerve cells, and so they stop sending the noisy signals, which results in the silence of your mind and ears. Step 2. The noise in your ears vanishes. Finally, once inflammation is eliminated from your brain, your nerve cells start to heal and regain their strength, and your neuronal networks rejuvenate. Step 3. Your mind and brain become sharper and rejuvenated. This is where good things start to happen. Think of tinnitox as a healthy steroid for your brain that will strengthen your nerve cells and give your mind clarity and focus. Your memory becomes sharper, better, clearer. Your brain is now 10 years younger since tinnitus is out of your system. Step 4. You shield yourself against tinnitus and memory disease. Now, the entire purpose of this is not only to set people free from tinnitus, but also protect their brain against this debilitating disease on a long-term basis. Shield it against memory loss or other brain-related diseases. And also to keep you safe against memory disorders like memory loss, amnesia, dementia, and other deadly brain diseases. Step 5. Your entire health and well-being start to improve. In just a few weeks, you'll be tinnitus-free, your hearing will be sharp, your mind will be quiet and peaceful, and you'll be protected against deadly brain disorders. And because this blend is so powerful, every single cell of your body will start to transform and rejuvenate. This is the miraculous process behind tinnitox. After hearing all this, You're probably eager to find out more about how you can get your hands on this amazing product and how much you need to completely rid yourself of this hellish noise in your head. Truth is, right now it's extremely hard for us to provide a very large quantity of tinnitox to the world. That's because we only use the highest quality ingredients, so we have to wait for our producers to grow more of them in the normal conditions. Plus, we have to wait for them to ship them. So right now, since you had the resilience of sticking with me to the end of this presentation, your product is reserved while you are currently on this site. Should you decide to leave, your reservation will move to another person, desperately waiting in line for their fair share of this supplement, waiting to press the stop button on the debilitating noise that's been damaging their way of life for too long. But think of it like this. The only way to eliminate neuroinflammation from your brain and regain total silence is to use a mere bottle of this supplement. With just one capsule a day for 30 days, you can easily stop the ringing and whooshing that have been putting your life in danger. But you don't want to stop there. As I told you, after extensive research, Dr. J and I observed that if used for 90 days, which means 3 bottles of tinnitox, not only will your brain be healed, but you'll finally be getting the help you need with sleep deprivation, anxiety, stress, and random painful headaches that occur from tinnitus. And if you truly want to create an impenetrable barrier around your organism, then 6 bottles of tinnitox are all that you need. Studies show that 6 bottles of this amazing product can make your brain at least a decade younger and are sure to protect it against cognitive decay and other brain-related diseases. Just listen to what some of our customers had to say about tinnitox. For example, Robert H., 55, from Texas, who said, "When the noise in my head stopped, I thought I was dreaming. 6 years I had to live with this terrible condition. I was as good as deaf in my left ear, tired and angry all the time. Then the anxiety, panic attacks and memory lapses started to happen and they freaked me out. But it's all over now. The wrecking noise in my head has stopped. It's incredible how good silence feels. My ears are back to fully functioning and I feel my brain is working like in my young years again. This is the only thing that worked for me out of everything else I've tried, and I've tried so many things. It's unimaginable." Tinnitox is truly a miracle for people who are dealing with tinnitus. Don't hesitate to get your hands on this. Or Linda P., 60, from Michigan, who said, "I would have given anything for the thing that would stop this hellish noise. But luckily, I didn't have to, because I found tinnitox." I'm telling you, this is truly a miracle. I can't remember a time since my mind has been so quiet, my entire body so calm, and my overall health so good. I can focus better. My memory is sharper than ever. It's like I gained superpowers, and it's only the 2nd month since I've started taking these pills. I'm sending this to all my friends. Everyone deserves to know, and not just the ones that suffer from tinnitus. Thank you so much, Johnny. After hearing all this, I want to ask you a question. How much is your health worth? 100,000, 50,000, 10,000? Look, it's not about the money for us. Thankfully, both Dr. J and I are satisfied with our lives, with a stable financial situation. After hearing the opinions of other people, such as our suppliers, who recommended no less than $597 per bottle, if only for the high quality of the products. My wife told me that after seeing the effects it had on me, the price of $397 would be perfect for 1 bottle, and the test subjects said that they would gladly pay double the price just for the overall effects of tinnitox. We decided to set the price tag not at $597, or not even half of that, because after all, we just want to cover the price of the ingredients and to try to keep this site up and running for as long as possible, which may not be long, since Big Pharma keep trying to shut this miracle solution down, and because of that, we would even need to start charging $19 per bottle. Just for you, who's watching this right now, you can now get your very own bottle of tinnitox for only $69. And because I know how hard it is to deal with such a disease, I'm going to make you an even better offer. After talking to our suppliers, we managed to get you a discount for the package deal. So if you decide to stock up on 6 bottles of this amazing supplement, which, by the way, are the perfect amount of tinnitox to last you for as long as you need, you can get your hands on those for no more than $294. But you need to hurry, because once we run out of bottles, and I'm telling you this can happen in less than 20 minutes, it's gonna take us up to 9 months to restock on the ingredients. And while we do that, the buy button below is not going to be active, so make sure you get your hands on it while you still can. Now, about how many bottles you should get, that's a little tricky. Of course, a bottle of this supplement will last you for 30 days, but you should expect results in less than that. However, there are other factors that we have to take into account. Even though you may eliminate all signs of neuroinflammation from your brain, you will still need to fortify your defenses against any possible outside factors. That is why I highly recommend choosing the 3-bottle package, created especially for people who want to feel safer about this product. But if you want to truly bulletproof your system and enjoy the full benefits of tinnitox, fight against brain-related disorders and cognitive decay, you should definitely go for the 6-bottle package. So go ahead and click the button below to secure your package. You'll be redirected to our secure payment site. From there, you can choose to pay with credit, debit card, or even PayPal, so you can fill in your payment details and the product will be shipped directly to your house, discreetly and securely. Don't miss out on what can be your only chance of securing the cure to tinnitus. And look, to make you feel even more confident with your choice, I thought about something. I know how important one's health is, so I wanted money to be the last problem on this list. That is why I decided to add an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked. If for any reason you are dissatisfied with the results, simply write a message to me and we'll make sure you get your money back in full. It doesn't matter if you used up the entire bottle or not. We want you to feel 100% comfortable with the choice you make today, because again, money is the last thing you want to think about when considering your health. That's why we even decided to cover the shipping costs for you. So what are you waiting for? Click the buy button below, secure your order, fill in your details, and let us take care of the rest. Just imagine how happy you'll be when you rediscover the energy you once thought lost. Spending time with your loved ones, taking part in activities you never thought you would again, and finally sleeping without worrying about any other possible tinnitus outbreaks. Freeing yourself from the shackles of this hellish disease and give yourself the life you truly deserve. All this power will be in the palm of your hand, just like it was for 120,000 people before you. If you think about it, you only have 2 choices here. The first one would be to ignore this video, forget it ever happened, and just go along with your life. Take no action and just let tinnitus do its thing, taking your energy away from you little by little, while you spend countless sleepless hours and thousands of dollars on useless treatments that are only meant to make you more miserable and fill the pockets of greedy big pharma companies, and lose touch with everything you hold dear, ultimately going crazy because of that voice inside your head that never stops screaming. And the other choice is a much simpler one. Risk absolutely nothing at all. Choose tinnitox and rid yourself of tinnitus. Protect your present and your future with one simple click. Get your life back from the grip of this terrible condition and start enjoying the time you spend with your loved ones. Do yourself a favor and choose tinnitox. Click the button below, secure your package, and go get your energy back. You can thank me after that. I was Johnny Wilkers, and I can't wait for you to become one of tinnitox's success stories. Still here? Good. That means I have some time to answer your questions. 1. How does this product work again? After extensive research, my scientific partner Dr. J and I discovered that neuroinflammation is the root cause of tinnitus, something that millions of Americans deal with on a daily basis. That is why we decided to create a 100% natural formula that would target inflammation and press the stop button on the noise, saving you the pain time and money of resorting to inefficient and outrageously expensive big pharma solutions. These capsules should be ingested once a day, and as soon as they get into your body, they start targeting the inflamed area, taking care of neuroinflammation. Easy to use and highly affordable, tinnitox does its job efficiently, sparing you the pain of hearing another raw, hush or whooshing sound again. Plus, it rejuvenates your entire body from head to toe, relieving you of anxiety, insomnia, and helping you with depressive states. 2. Is tinnitox safe to use? Well, it has been created for all ages and medical conditions, and it addresses the root cause of tinnitus, neuroinflammation. The factors that are endangering you and triggering neuroinflammation surround us from everywhere, from the air we breathe to the food we eat, and it would take years to adapt our habits to a healthy lifestyle, years many of us don't have. The most important thing you can do today in order to ensure your health into old age is to start using tinnitox. It has all the high-quality natural ingredients that you need. Plus, it is manufactured in a highly sterile, FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility. Every ingredient that went into this organic capsule has been tested for purity, and their qualities have been ensured by certified scientists. However, if you do have a medical condition or are currently taking other prescription medication, we strongly advise you to show a bottle of this formula to your doctor prior to taking it, just to make sure everything is in order. 3. How do I take tinnitox? Just one capsule of this supplement administered orally should do the trick. This should be enough to activate all the amazing substances in our product. You should do this process daily, either in the morning or at your noon meal, in order for you to properly strengthen and heal your nervous system. 4. What if it doesn't work for me? Can I know more about the 60-day guarantee? Looking at the amazing results of this formula, we strongly believe that it holds the power to rejuvenate your system to its core. Now we know that not everything works for 100% of the people trying it, since everyone's body responds differently. This is why we set this ironclad guarantee. If, for any reason, you are dissatisfied with the results of our product, within 60 days, simply return what you have not used for a full refund. No questions asked, no hidden fees, simple as that. 5. How long will tinnitox be available for? This is a very tricky question, but I'm glad it's here. There are a lot of cases in which the industry showed us that Big Pharma is not afraid to spend millions of dollars in order to remove something so revolutionary and groundbreaking from the market. After all, wouldn't you spend all this money in order to save a billion-dollar industry? So all you have to do to be sure is to click the link below today. Fill in your details, submit your order, and become one of the success stories of tinnitox today.